This is a demo of the font editor setup I have on desktop Linux right now. It's getting kind of interesting, so I just figured might as well record a video. So you can kind of see this is the editor I have. And so say I like move some, move some points around, and then I save that. I can just rebuild everything, and then this image back here kind of shifts. So the reason I'm doing this is because it allows me to get kerning, RTL shaping, like all this stuff that is complicated to put into the editor. And I can just keep the editor simple, and then I'm just using Drawbot Skia to build these images, and I'm just using this editor as simple as possible. And this is like kind of how I think Unix is meant to be used. Like instead of like the way most people use computers on Mac OS or something, you kind of, what you have is you have like one GUI application that just does everything, and it's this big complicated black box, and there's like 10 people that know how it works. So that's like one way to use a computer, where you're kind of completely disempowered. You're reliant on like these 10 developers, this company. An alternative way is like, this is using kind of the Unix philosophy of like, I'm not building, I already have kerning, RTL, like for doing Arabic and all this stuff like in Drawbot Skia. So it's like, I can automate this script where it can just watch for changes. I haven't done that yet because it actually is, for me, it's actually a little nice, like when I hit, so if I hit save, then it changes like right away. Then I don't always like see exactly like what's happened. Like sometimes I want to like wait and watch for it to change. But I'm gonna play around with doing like a script that watches the directory and like automatically updates it. But that way, I can just keep the font editor like as simple as possible, and and then what happens there is like, instead of having just these big complicated tools you don't understand, you're just only using simple tools that you understand. So I'm using, you can kind of see here, like, so this is the Drawbot Skia. This is the Drawbot Skia script for the background. I've got my little calculator over here. I can run it over here. I got my font editor, and it's a really cool setup. And like to some people it might seem unprofessional and crazy, you know, it's like kind of, you know, getting kind of like, it just kind of, I think to some people this just might seem like kind of insane, like it's not a professional workflow. But to me, like, I think that there's like the Unix philosophy has a lot in common with like modernism, where like modernism is this kind of way of thinking where you have contemporary like European modernist type design like Dynamo or like eCal stuff. It's really, they're using like Mac OS and these like complicated big software things. It's it's really, to me, it's just like a facade of modernism without any of like the philosophical like ideas of modernism. Of like, modernism was like wanting to live in harmony with technology and like not to be overwhelmed by technology and like overtaken by it, but to like, to have like, kind of like I'm doing with Linux here, it's like embracing an austere machine aesthetic, but in like a human way, where the human and the machine are like working together, and the human's not being like overwhelmed by the machine. So, and if you think about it, like in digital type design, like they were already into like postmodernism when like the desktop came around. like, and so I don't think we've ever really had like a digital, real like digital native modernism. We've never like seen digital native modernism. And that's there's a thing, there's like a Mark Fisher quote where Mark Fisher says that like, you know, like modernism is just this it's like a frozen aesthetic style that just returns every once in a while, but never as an ideal for living. And what I think is kind of exciting in the kind of like the LLM era, like where everything's like kind of like up in the air, is like there's like real opportunity for like modernist design to return, that is like an ideal for living, and like is this kind of like deep philosophy, and is not just like an aesthetic facade. So yeah, this is what I'm working on, and I'm gonna keep making videos and keep making updates. So thank you for watching.